Traveling full time does not mean living in hostels, eating fucking rations, and basically just living like a backpacker brokey. I had a conversation with someone recently, and they were asking me, like, my living situation. How have I made this possible? Have I been living in hostels? These types of questions. I'm thinking, what the fuck? Couldn't think of anything worse but traveling and living very, very frugally in poor countries. This idea is bullshit. I don't back it by any means. I think it's good to get out there and see the world, sure, and get a taste, but this long term is a terrible life, and something you should definitely not be striving for. In terms of your mindset and going forward, it's really not hard to live like a king, travel, and live the life that you want. All you need to do is just get a few things right in place, and you can make it happen pretty quickly, honestly. The first thing is you need to get rid of your stuff. You need to become a minimalist. You need to be okay with having your life in a suitcase, pretty much. So, getting attached to things, buying things that are going to be stuck to you long term is a terrible idea. For example, buying a house when you are young and want to make this decision, terrible idea. Getting a dog, getting a long-term girlfriend is going to make things harder. Obviously, anything else that keeps you trapped, like debt and other things, is going to make things harder. So the first things first is make it very easy to leave and create a life where you have the flexibility and movability. So if you have any of these things, that is your first step. Get rid of it, right? Become a minimalist. Get rid of your stuff. The second thing, and the last thing really, is you need to figure out how to make money online. Now, you probably, and everyone else usually thinks this is fucking super hard, super difficult. It's really not. Okay, like you can get an online job, you can learn a high income skill, and get a job with a company in the US. That's usually your best bet. It's a very strong currency. You only need to be making 2 to 3K per month to actually make this a reality and live in many, many, many countries like a king, right? The option and the job that I usually recommend someone goes for is something called high ticket sales. Look into this skill, learn this skill, apply for jobs in it, and it is pretty easy to be making 3K minimum a month, right? Which allows you to live in Asia, Latin America, really, really well, right? Some of these cities and countries that I've been to, I'm living really nice for 1,500 to 2K per month. That doesn't meaning living in cheap apartments. This is really good Airbnbs. This is eating out with friends, going to nice fancy restaurants, doing and making the decisions that I want, going to the best gyms, going to the best supermarkets, like ordering and buying high quality things. This is not being trapped at all, right? So the whole traveling thing not only is about being able to travel, but it's also about something called geo-arbitrage, right? Because right now in your hometown, you're probably living in the West and your expenses are so high, you're probably getting paid in a weak currency. For example, Australia currency is fucking ridiculous. If you add those two things together, it's going to be very hard to not only save money, but also just get out, right? So it's actually the best option to do very early, because the gap between you making money and saving money becomes a lot larger, and therefore you can invest more into things that are going to generate more income, and you can provide more income streams in that way. So just one mindset, one thing to think about. And not only that, guys, making the move early, leaving your hometown is super, super important, and something everyone, I believe, should be doing, because it's your network. It's the people that you're around, right? If you're constantly around your boys back home who are all in 9 to 5s, just want to watch sports and get on the piss on the weekend, what have they got to add value, right? You might bring up some cool ideas, or you might have some goals in mind. They're either going to laugh at you or tell you it's a fucking pyramid scheme, right? They've only got excuses for you, right? Because they don't have the balls to do it themselves. They don't understand the reality, and they've been brainwashed by the system to think with fear, right? And only follow the secure path. Whereas when you start traveling, you get in, you know, pretty high level spots with high level entrepreneurs, such as Asuncion, Paraguay, where I am right now. Everyone's on a mission. Everyone wants to win. The guys I'm meeting, 20 plus dudes, 20 plus different ways that they're all making money, right? Now, when you see the possibilities of all these people making money through different strategies, it just becomes so normal to you. It becomes so doable that it's like, why do people struggle? Why do people struggle with this? Why don't they just fucking do it? If that's what they want to do, why don't they just do it? And it's all got to do with who you're around, right? You're not seeing it's possible. You don't know these people. It's not real, right? And if you don't see that and you have like a pretty shitty mindset, a negative mindset, or you're just, you know, you're beginning your journey with all this shit, it's so easy to just fall down the fucking negative slide and just go back to your shitty life, right? So it's about making that first step, leaving, setting up the online income, and getting around the network. So the way in which you do that is you save at least 10 to 15K, you fucking leave, right? No excuses, and you figure it out. You figure out how to make money online, you get an online job, you put yourself in a city where there's other people doing the same thing. You give yourself 8 to 12 months of living expenses to make this happen. So you literally have no excuses. If it doesn't work out, cool. You had a nice holiday, you lived well, you met some cool people. That's literally the worst case scenario, right? Your environment is so fucking important, and this is like literally most of the problem, right? Because of the information you're being fed and the information you're being around. So just thought I'd bring that out there, guys. Traveling and living this life of making money online and doing it whatever you want, it really isn't that fucking hard when you use the arbitrage of putting yourself in a location that's cheap while also making income from, you know, the US or a Western country. You're basically laughing. So it's a pretty easy formula. You can make it happen. Stop making fucking excuses. If you need help, one-to-one help, I'm here, I can help. Book a call with me down below. We'll sort out your options and we'll see where, you know, you can take this in terms of, you know, future planning and getting things done to live the life that you actually want to fucking live. Thanks for watching the video, bro. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.